I was hoping to feel excited, but you know what? The way this day is going to play out, South Africa's got no reason to be excited at all. We're about to be sold back into slavery. 1652 is happening all over again. Cyril Ramaphosa is about to fulfill his mandate of handing this country back to the white supremacists who own it. You know what? My concern is not having a white leader. I couldn't care if the president of this country was purple. My concern is that the people that are about to form a government don't care about the poor. They don't care about poor people of color in particular. You know, we're about to have a speaker who believes that the minimum wage must be scrapped. How? What country do we live in? Is this what so many people died for? Solomon Mshlango died so poor people could live better. Ramaphosa is a counter-revolutionary. Excuse me if I sound like Julius today. Look, it's clear that there was massive vote rigging. It is clear that the government we are about to elect today was pre-planned 3 years ago. Julius is right. The madness is over. Let's roll up our sleeves. The fight back begins today. You know, with our limited means and all of the 14,000 rand we have, we are very pleased that so many colored youngsters took the opportunity to register themselves to vote and to actually come out and vote. You know, young people in this country don't vote because they've lost faith. It's our job to return that faith. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we might as well gone to Boswell Wilkie Circus, got a handful of clowns and positioned them, because that's exactly what this is going to turn into. It's going to turn into a right-wing circus. We're going to be handled from Stellenbosch. A handful of families will rule us all. You know, if you wanted a truly progressive government coalition, there's a handful of parties you could have spoken to. This man has chosen regressive partners. They're going to take us back to the Stone Age. It's going to get worse than ever. At the NCC, we prefer to keep things small and compact. You know, there's a reason the ANC is suffering. It's because a big fat cat can't be mobile, can't be agile, can't be hostile. We've learned that the leaner the better. This is not what we fought for. We did not fight to have the son of an apartheid hanging judge control half the coalition. It's madness.
Honorable Speaker, Madam Deputy Speaker, Mr. President, congratulations on your election. Mr. President, it was 5 years ago that I begged you in Mitchell's Plain to do the right thing for the suffering colored people on the Cape Flats. You shook my hand, you said you would. You never did. Mr. President, 5 years ago you spoke to us about Tuma Mina. You mentioned the 9 wasted years. We should add your last 5 to it. Mr. President, I stand here today, delegated here by a community so desperate for change that they sent a recovering drug addict and reformed gangster to tell their story. Mr. President, the colored people are dying, and this House has done nothing about it. Mr. President, I want to support the government of national unity, but when you include the right-wing fringe into it, it makes it hard for me to get involved. We wish you well, because South Africa must succeed. And this success, Mr. President, lies at your door. But the voters are telling us that we do not have full support of the ANC anymore. Mr. President, this country is at a crossroads. One wrong move, and our poor will continue to die. Our fear is that the wrong move has already been made. I hope that we are wrong. Thank you.
Now, for the reason that we are. You'll notice that there was about 300 parties that contested this election. Out of that 300 parties, 18 made it to the National Assembly. To the 18 that made it to the National Assembly, congratulations. To the one party that made it to the National Assembly without money, well done, team. People question our leadership. Let me tell you something. Go ask the parties with money how easy it is to win one seat with millions. They'll tell you that it's not. Go and ask them if they'll enter a national election without money. They'll tell you that they won't. Go and ask them how many years of experience it took them to get to the National Assembly. My guess is 10 to 15. Go and ask them if they could succeed at the first attempt. If they're honest, they're going to say no. We did. Congratulations, NCC. Now, on the issue of the madness going on, the government of national unity. We've met the ANC, just like everyone else has. We gave the ANC our conditions on a government of national unity. We made it clear to the ANC that as the NCC, we refuse to work with these godless Zionists that calls themselves the Democratic Alliance. Trust me when I tell you, I'm not at all in favor of working with the ANC either. But you have to draw a moral line somewhere along the line. To work with people who support the indiscriminate killings of babies is something we will never do. To work alongside the people who have done everything in their power to keep the economy of this country in the hands of a few white people, we will never do. To work alongside the people who are selling off our ancestral land before we can lay claim to it is something we will never do. If you look at the way Helen Zille is going on, I'm told that she wants full control of the coaching systems at Kaiser Chiefs, or the coalition is off. Now, let me explain something to you. If there was no Pala Pala, there would be no consideration for the DA. Cyril Ramaphosa needs the Democratic Alliance because he is well aware that if the DA is not part of his government, they will do to him what they did to Jacob Zuma. He will be in the newspaper all day, every day. Their media systems will go into overdrive. Their spin doctors will come at him. He will find himself in court on a weekly basis, and therefore the need to include the DA in a government of national unity from Cyril Ramaphosa's side is not negotiable. The good people in the ANC, and there are, believe it or not, good people in the ANC, are totally opposed to this. They don't want to work with the DA. And you know what? No one should want to work with the DA, because in spite of the good press that they receive, these are the people that want to do stupid things like scrap minimum wage. They want you to work for free. They want to turn South Africa into a giant sweatshop. They want business to thrive and poor people to starve. They want you to work 40 hours a week and still need to find a way to eat on Thursday because you're only getting paid on Friday. That is the Democratic Alliance. They care about one demographic, white African in particular, and no one else. It's an evil. It's an evil I refuse to entertain. It's an evil the NCC refuses to entertain. As far as GNU is concerned, the NCC is standing outside. We don't want to come into that building. There's nothing there for the people. This is the sale of the aspiration of poor people. All they need to do now is show us the title deed. We will not be a part of this madness. I met former Chief Justice Sloppy today. Yo, what a decent man. I've never met him before. We had a few words. 2-minute conversation. What a good man. What a brilliant man. Like, I always tell people I'm the smartest man I know. I might have to reconsider. Let me tell you something. This man was appointed by Mandela himself. He was removed by Ramaphosa. Now ask why. But if you listen to this man, he speaks my language. He says, I joined MK because I am a Zulu. That's my language. I am at the National Colored Congress because I am a colored. Because they do not take us seriously as coloreds. Because they deny us our basic human rights as coloreds. I'm not letting no one else bat for my kids but me. And if anybody feels differently, step off. Now I want to tell you what the judge said. I'm sure the judge won't mind because it wasn't a secret. He said to me, you guys are doing brilliant work, Fadiel. Keep it up. He said something else, but I'm not going to share that. I was like, wow. You know what? The judge is right. The day after the votes were counted, where were we? Back at work. Distributing hemp oil for the people that need it for pain relief. Giving bread to people that needed it. Addressing indigent grants. Trying to get water reconnected. That's what we're about. We didn't go and celebrate like certain other people did. We went back to work because that's where we belong, at work in service of the colored child. This is going to be an interesting 5 years, guys. Whether we survive it or not, I really don't know. When I say we, I mean this entire country. Because if the ANC does hand the reins of this country back to the National Party through the Democratic Alliance, we are in so much trouble. I don't know if we get out of that hole again. We, I say people of color. But these right-wing animals must understand one thing. We are not going to go quietly. We are going to fight them with everything we have. You know what? Eventually you take a L. In life, that's what happens. You take a L. We take the L, but we go down swinging. They know that not all of us can be bought. They know that if they looked at the inauguration speeches at the election of the president, that at least there's one set of coloreds that have not compromised anything, that are still willing to fight. I have no desire to be a part of the Oppenheimer cabinet. None. Double the wages. Suppose the incentive. I don't want it. I want to just give you guys a little bit of a quick school lesson, seeing as a superior education did not translate into intelligence. Half your ward councillors don't live in the areas that they serve. You should start there. If I choose to move out of Mitchell's Plain, I will do so because I want to. But seeing as you asked, I'm not going anywhere. I owe the colored community the next 5 years. I owe them my best. I owe them 18 hours a day, all day, every day. I owe the colored community results. I owe them jobs. I owe them opportunity. Because they stood in long queues to ensure that I would be the people, I would be the person speaking for their people. I don't owe you an explanation. If you people thought that I was doing this so I could live in Brackenfell and say, good morning, rah, 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 that's not me. People talk about the car I drive. SLK AMG, baby. It's not mine. It's seriously not mine. I don't feel comfortable in the car. I don't like the attention that I get in the car. I can't wait for the day when I drive a reasonable 4x4. Yes, I might just. Last time I bought a Chinese car. People said I bought a 4x4 SUV, by the way. Los it af, man. Or is it the intention to see colored people, colored leadership, colored parliamentarians stuck on Vanguard Drive in a Datsun? Is that what's going to make some people happy? Because if that's what it's going to take, maybe I should get the Datsun. Maybe I should get stuck on Vanguard Drive so you can make a meme of that as well. You see, you can't win with these people. And I'm not interested in winning with these people. I'm interested in winning for you. You know, I watched Cleo Wilskut's interview. At least someone sent it to me. And I watched it, and I must say I'm disappointed in our people. When I say our people, you know, this young lady has been given an opportunity of a lifetime. It doesn't come along very often. She totally butchered a TV interview. But she didn't kill anyone. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know, I've met her once. She'll be the first to admit that she could have done better, that she may have prepared better. That interview is not a reflection of her intelligence or ability. I know it's not, even though I don't know her. But what I found very disturbing was how gleefully our own people are to break each other down. She's a 20-year-old with her whole life ahead of her. She's been called to serve. She will have other interviews. She will do better. She will do justice to the chair that she's sitting in. She will give hope to many, many more beautiful young ladies out there. The fact that she's not from the NCC does not bother me. The fact that she's one of us is something that we must all be proud of, man. It is a sadness to watch our people. Verlikke hulle self. And I was just like, nah, man. We got work to do. You know, we've got minds to free, because they'd have been sympathetic if that was Steenhuisen. If Steenhuisen couldn't say a number like 58,900,000, blah, 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 blah. They would have been sympathetic. They'd have been defending it. They'd have been apologizing on his behalf. But it's a colored girl. Let's break her down. Is eintlik 'n hartseer. Miss Wilskut, you have my full backing. Trust me, I had my very, very first TV interview. It was NCA. James Dutton, excuse me. And she grilled me and she roasted me. And when I watched the interview, I thought to myself, I'm like a duck in the pond, because I'm calm on top, but you should watch my feet paddling at the bottom. I've never been that nervous. No, I understand that I've been to court many, many times. I've looked at the judge waiting for the gavel to fall, guilty, not guilty. I've had guns pointed at me. I've never been that nervous. It's a nervous thing. She was nervous. She won't be as nervous next time, and she'll do better. And I'm sure that she will make colored mothers, colored daughters, colored people in general very, very proud to be colored. We should celebrate her, not break her down. Tied to that, I've been watching the last few weeks. My salary. It's the talk of social media. Ek wil julle maar net sê, ek het my nog nooit uitgesit met 'n ander man se geld nie. Whether sy millions het, whether sy honderde het, whether sy niks het, I look at you the same, I treat you the same. But it's interesting to note that people act like out of 400 MPs in the National Assembly, I'm the only one getting paid. The other 399 must be volunteering. You know what people don't talk about? People don't talk about the time when I quit working, when I closed my business to get this party off the ground. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the sacrifices myself and my family made to keep this party going. They don't talk about the time when Sakina quit her full-time job to work for this party for a stipend of 1,500 rand a month just to cover her rent at home. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the 400,000 rand that I find myself in debt to keep this dream going. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the amount of good things we've done in the community. It's like Fadiel woke up one day, decided he was going to be a parliamentarian, earn 1.2, it's actually 1.5 million rand a year, and it was going to come out of the air. They act as if I'm in it for the money. And that's okay, because the people that know me know that I'm not doing this for money. I doubt very much that I could earn this amount of money as a plumber consistently. But trust me when I tell you, I do it for free. I also just want to add to that I get 88 flights per annum, if they don't know, that I get a medical aid and a pension. There's something to talk about in the morning. That's the whole story. On my ass was up. I was up very early this morning. I did not enjoy today. I'll be up very early tomorrow morning again. I will not enjoy tomorrow either. But I will push through. And I will give it all we have. Because finally, 2024, the colored people have a voice. Unfortunately, that voice happens to be me. Guys, we're going to kick this thing off. We're going to fight for your rights like we always have, like we promised you, like we've proved to you. We're going to need your support. But let me make this clear. In my head, this thing was never about 2024. It was all about 2026. This was nothing more than a test. Can we do it? We doubled our votes. I think the only party in the country that can say that they doubled their votes between the last LGE and this national election. We double our votes again. You know what that makes us? Do you know what that makes us? It makes us the power in the city of Cape Town. Now that Lichtbeck Jordan Lewis, he's having sleepless nights right now because his dream of being the mayor back to back depends on what you do, not him. Understand that if we perform and we make this thing grow, 2026 is the year we take the pen and start writing our own history. That's a scary thought if you're a racist. That is what motivates me. Have a good night. We'll speak soon. I'm going a little bit low-key on social media for the next few weeks because we got things to plan, things to put in place, structures to build, and a big-ass election to win in 2026. We've shown them what we can do without money. Now the party gets a party allowance. Now they know they got bigger problems than they thought. I like that space. Have a good night, guys.
Honorable Speaker, Madam Deputy Speaker, Mr. President, congratulations on your election. Mr. President, it was 5 years ago that I begged you in Mitchell's Plain to do the right thing for the suffering colored people on the Cape Flats. You shook my hand, you said you would. You never did. Mr. President, 5 years ago you spoke to us about Tuma Mina. You mentioned the 9 wasted years. We should add your last 5 to it. Mr. President, I stand here today, delegated here by a community so desperate for change that they sent a recovering drug addict and a reformed gangster to tell their story. Mr. President, the colored people are dying, and this House has done nothing about it. Mr. President, I want to support the government of national unity, but when you include the right-wing fringe into it, it makes it hard for me to get involved. We wish you well, because South Africa must succeed. And this success, Mr. President, lies at your door. But the voters are telling us that we do not have full support of the ANC anymore. Mr. President, this country is at a crossroads. One wrong move, and our poor will continue to die. Our fear is that the wrong move has already been made. I hope that we are wrong. Thank you.